These are the same numbers that we benchmark every single quarter that I share with you all. And I try to give you a picture of beyond just the lens of you as the investor, but how is every part of this vertically integrated machine operating? And so we start with acquisitions, we'll work our way down. So properties purchased, how about that? 8 properties purchased.
I bet.
Does that sound like a lot to you?
No, it doesn't sound like a lot at all.
I know. Again, going back from years and years and years now, we've been doing the show for 4 years. And so if some of you were here 4 years ago and I was sharing this information with you, you would have seen hundreds of properties purchased.
Yeah.
A couple of months. At our height, we purchased 700 and 900 properties a year. So we have really scaled back that purchase decision. Now, why are we doing that? Has absolutely nothing to do with us not being confident in the market. We're more confident in the market today than we were even back in the day because of some things, especially our activity with downtown and especially about interest rates, as I've shared with you. What this is reflecting is that JWB for years and years and years built up an inventory surplus. We have years of runway of lots that we have already in our possession, that we already own, that have not been built out yet. And so this is about being prudent and being in a position of strength as a company to make sure that the properties that we do purchase now, we can be very picky and choosy, but you never have to worry about having enough inventory as a client. There's over 1,000 lots that we still haven't even developed as a company here. So we're just in a great spot and we don't have to extend ourselves to buy anything that we don't want to, which is a great thing as a company.
Yeah. And again, we talk a lot about this idea that JWB is different, right? Like our investor is not the average investor that's like, oh, I see real estate and I want to do real estate. They're thinking long-term. They're thinking about their future. They're thinking about retirement. They need to have an asset that they can depend on, that just like any other thing that you put in retirement, if you build a plan around it, you got to be able to purchase it, right? So this idea that you all have stocked a whole bunch of lots, you have secured your supply of you being able to bring to market these assets that people can match their plan to. And that's the only way you're going to get them to retirement, right? So you have that well stocked. Talk to me about these other numbers, man.
Yeah, so that leads right into this private lending number raise. So again, this is where our clients have the opportunity to become private lenders of JWB. And that's, in essence, that's how we do so much volume as a company. And so those lots that I just described that we sit on and we monitor and we decide how many to build each year, well, then we go to you as a private lending client and we use those funds that you lend to us to go and build out those properties. So this year, we will build roughly 400 brand new construction homes in addition to doing the renovations that we do. And so you can see that our money raising arm has continued to hum along in a wonderful fashion. We're on pace to set a record this year for the number of private lending dollars that were raised at $5 million only 2 months of the way through.
Got it. To me, as an investor, I think you guys need to be really good at finding capital.
Mm-hmm. We do.
In order for me to feel good about everything moving along. So to me, that's just that number. Properties built, renovated 202.
Yeah. We've already built and renovated 202 properties, which is, again, where those dollars go to. And then property sales, we've already sold 45 properties. That's a mixture of both selling investor properties to clients like yourselves. And if we have any Jacksonville residents and, what we call retail homeowners, owner occupants, it's about a 50-50 split as far as what we sell to our retail occupants. And I will say that the type of housing that we provide in Jacksonville is that is that affordable housing, right? The workforce housing, which is what is in need. If we talked about the overall supply problem, workforce housing, affordable housing is the biggest segment of the population that is in need, or biggest segment of the housing stack that we need. So last year we had 42% of all the homes sold in Jacksonville, priced at $300,000 or below. Those were JWB homes. 42% of those. So we're also serving a need, not just for our investor base, but we're serving a need for affordable housing in Jacksonville as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And this is all through February. So this isn't even a full quarter. This is just 2 months of activity. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. All right, cool. Other KPIs, rent collection stands at 98.4%. Average rent per property right now is $1,450. And current properties under management, you're just a tick under 6,000, 5,710. To me, the thing that stands out is this average rent per property at 1,450. I feel like just yesterday it was like right around like 1,100. So that kind of flies in the face of this idea of people thinking that rents have gone down, no?
Well, I actually looked last year when we reported it was 1425, 1429.
There you go.
So when you started to invest 3 years ago,
Yeah.
it was a lot lower.
Yeah.
But again, that's why we talk about the 5 profit centers of investing in rental properties. And so as costs go up around property ownership, rents also go up around property ownership as well. And so, we've been able to see rents rise there in a reasonable fashion from 1425 to 1450 in a year.
So if 1425 Q1 last year, 1450 this year, that says rents have not gone down.
Correct.
Okay,
I
just saying.
keep trying to let other people know that that's not just JWB stats.
Mhm.
That is Jacksonville stats. Rents have gone up in Jacksonville year over year.
There you go. That settles that. Local stats. And then finally, other KPIs here, total rented houses, 221, average duration of initial lease, 27.1 months. So that is a little like a 2.25 years. Number of leases re-signed, right? Keeping the tenant inside the home without having vacancy, 381 in this quarter, and a 0.3% eviction rate.
Humming along. 381 leases re-signed and 221 homes rented on the initial lease through only 2 months of activity.
Yeah.
So again, the strength of this investment comes down to your decision of the team that you work with. And this is the type of productivity that the JWB team is able to support you with.
And as an investor myself, right, like just this idea of residents staying there at least 2 years when they're signing a lease with me, and 381 of them are re-signing, right? Like just like occupancy is the name of the game here, right? Like keeping residents in the home to me is what really sets you guys apart. And the fact that you guys can really, really deliver on these numbers, to me, that's that peace of mind of I'm not going to have to be like worried about a turn every single year. I'm not going to have to be like constantly thinking about this stuff because you can demonstrate this.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. All right, GC, got some questions, but final kind of like answer here on what the portfolio, what the opportunities look like right now. What does the market look like as far as getting in on an investment?
Yes, absolutely. So here's some stats and highlights for you all to keep in mind. Minimum investments somewhere around $75,000 to $100,000, depending on the asset and depending on what percentage down is right for you and for your plan. You can expect returns on investment somewhere between 9 to 10%. And your interest rates for JWB clients, your interest rates are going to be 5.75%, which is fantastic. You're not going to find those types of rates out there, especially for turnkey investment properties, generally speaking. So low interest rates today. And again, as interest rates continue to come down over time, we hope that those will continue to come down as well. And then those multiple JWB incentive packages that are available currently, don't know how long they are going to last. And especially the maintenance credit one, that is not likely to last. The bundles one we've had for a while. I think that one's probably pretty safe, but I would absolutely encourage you to reach out. If you're a new client, you can go to chatwithjwb.com. You can send an email to info@JWB Companies. And if you're a current client, just reach out to your portfolio manager and get the process started with you.
Sounds like a good time to buy, man, is everything I'm saying. Whether it's interest rates about to go down, which means prices go up, whether it's months of inventory and all the local numbers and the supply demand economics here in Jacksonville looking like things are going to continue to progress. More people need homes in Jacksonville than the amount of homes in the market, which as an economics major, that's pretty simple. It means it is favorable to the person that owns the home, right? So like whether you own rental properties right now or you buy your rental property right now, you're looking at a bright future of wealth creation through home price appreciation in the workforce housing sector of a growing U.S. city that continues to get better.
100%.
Got it.